Apple. It is one of the biggest companies in the world, controlling significant portions of the smartphone, MP3, and desktop computer industry. It is worth a whopping $560 billion, and as other businesses falter in the economic recession, Apple maintains its strong sales, as millions rush to buy its latest products in record-breaking numbers. In the last quarter alone, the revenue was worth $463 billion and made $13 and $6 billion in profit. To put it into perspective, it is worth more than the economy of Singapore, all the illegal drugs in the world, the GDP of Denmark, Taiwan, Sweden, and Saudi Arabia, and the international use of oil for 45 days. Although some of Apple's products do perform very well, the company is a master at influencing the consumer to buy based on emotional rather than logical rationale. Part of its success is attributed to its marketing strategies and aesthetically appealing designs, which set them apart from their competitors. Apple has been able to maintain its loyal fan base since its inception. Though their merchandise may seem alluring, customers should be able to make informed decisions about whether the latest product is a must-buy, given the high price of the products when compared to similar items from Apple's competitors. But Apple had humble beginnings, founded in a garage by three men with a vision, the two Steves, Steve Wozniak, Steve Jobs, and another friend, Ronald Wayne, who shortly sold his share for $800. It began when these three men made the first personal computer, the Apple I. Since then, Apple has grown to outsell many of its competitors. How does it appeal to consumers so efficiently? Why does it outsell its competitors?
Apple presents a very unified user experience to their customers. So they have everything tends to tie together. They have iTunes that ties together with their phones and their products very well. And then once you get on that ecosystem, once you get on iTunes, you're locked. You're somewhat locked into the Apple world. So that was a great marketing strategy for them.
Apple has shown its affinity for attracting attention through its adverts throughout its history. One of the most well-known television advertisements was released in 1984 for its Macintosh computer, in which it attacks the conformity of PCs.
Secure from the pests, obeying contradictory thoughts. Unification of thoughts is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth. We are one people, with one will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will bury them with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
While Apple's first computers, such as the Macintosh, were not significantly successful in the sales, the company reached a new level when it released the first iMac in 1998. This iMac revolutionized the computer industry, breaking the mold that companies had previously set. What made it so different, though?
Some have it, most don't. Old generation I/O devices. And what that means is they're lower performance and they're harder to use, and most of them aren't so plug and play. And these things are ugly.
This new iMac placed an emphasis on design and aesthetics. Its color was called Bondi Blue and featured a sleeker design that differed from the boxy, dull PCs that were already on the market.
This is iMac. See this thing in person, but I'll do the best I can with video. This is iMac. The whole thing is translucent. You can see into it. It's so cool. We've got stereo speakers on the front. We've got infrared right up here. We've got the CD-ROM drive right in the middle. We've got dual stereo headphone jacks. We got the coolest mouse on the planet right here. Come on around. All of the connectors are inside one beautiful little door here, the Ethernet, the USB stuff. Around the back, we've got a really great handle here. The back of this thing looks better than the front of the other guys, by the way. Incredible compared to anything else out there. It looks like it's from another planet. And a good planet. A planet with better designers. Look at this keyboard. It's so nice. 2 universal serial bus connectors on either side, so you can plug the mouse into whichever one you want, whether you're right or left-handed, and you have the other one for peripherals. Look at this mouse. It's the most wonderful mouse you've ever used.
So how big of a role do aesthetics play in selling electronics?
Absolutely, and I think Apple sets the trend there. You can see a lot of the smartphones had followed what Apple's lead was in the past. So now the candy bar style phone, the no buttons on the phone, it's pretty much driving BlackBerry out of business, right? You know, BlackBerry had the keyboard and they're going away, right? Because everybody wants the touchscreen phone. And then the shape and the style and the colors and that stuff all play a big part. So it's a big thing. But now you're seeing other people catch up with Apple, and then even in some cases go above what Apple was doing and starting to drive the aesthetics the other way. So now as iPhone 4 was released, it was the same size and shape as all the other phones that they've had, all the old iPhones, and other competitors have released bigger phones with higher resolution now, and I think you're going to see that actually get driven back into Apple on the iPhone 5. A lot of the rumors are the iPhone 5 will be bigger screen, higher resolution. So it might be the other way this time.
These iMac sales skyrocketed, selling 800,000 units in just 5 months. Apple continued to create aesthetically pleasing products to appeal to its consumers, releasing the iMac in new, bold colors. These trends of bright colors and elegant design continue to be apparent with the evolution of Apple's products, which have become sleeker and slimmer as time passes. For example, the iPod, first released in 2001, has seen major success, especially as models such as the iPod mini and Nano came in many shapes and colors. Apple has strong fan bases in all of its products, but many claim that Apple products are not necessarily worth their price. The amount of money it takes to manufacture an iPhone 4S is significantly less its cost. It costs approximately $200 for all of its parts, but it costs $600 unsubsidized. We interviewed PSHS students to share their opinions and experiences on Apple.
They're way overpriced. That's the main reason. I mean, they have everything that you can get in a normal PC, but for about $800 more. I mean, $600 more is going so that you can have that little Apple logo light up on the front of your computer. That's the only reason. There's nothing special about it. I mean, they're advertising. They're masters at their advertising, but their prices are way too ridiculous.
He creates around Macs like this allure that creates all these Mac fanboys, that anything Apple puts out, they rush to buy it before they even know anything about it. Which is why people are willing to put Apple stickers on their cars and stuff. I think that's why he can afford to price all like computers that have the same computing power as this PC $500 higher, because people will still buy them. Because for some people there's just that prestige that goes with a Mac.
Indeed, Apple products are more significantly expensive. Comparable PC models such as 27-inch Asus All-in-One with a faster processor, same hard drive space, and twice as much memory cost $600 less than an Apple iMac. So, how does Apple convince consumers to buy their products despite their incredibly high prices?
A very emotional sell, and when you can make things emotional in your marketing, you can get a lot of traction. So once they did that, then they were able to get that hype around it, which allowed them to, as they bring out new products, release little tidbits about that product. Okay, iPhone 5 is coming, but I'm not going to tell you anything about iPhone 5. So everybody starts wondering, what is an iPhone 5? And everybody starts talking about what is an iPhone 5. And then they get such a big hype around iPhone 5 that the day it comes out, Apple doesn't even need to do any marketing. Without the consumer awareness of your product, it's very hard to sell anything. If a random guy down the street creates the next great cell phone, it may be 10 times better than an Apple product, but if he can't convince people that that's a good product and he can't get the word out there, he's never going to sell it.
Apple also influences its followers to buy its latest products, which it releases every year. People line up for hours before the release of new products such as the iPhone or iPad. For example, pre-orders for the new iPad were pushed 2 to 3 weeks back, although the upgrade from the iPad 2 was marginal and the price was $100 more expensive.
iPad offers only incremental changes over the previous model: a better rear-facing camera, the ability to connect to the faster 4G network in North America, and an improved Retina display.
Into line at about 1:30 this morning.
I just want to be one of the first people in Sweden to have one.
I'm going to be one of the first ones to use it. That makes it special.
I just wanted to join all the craziness. I've not done this before.
Similarly, the difference between the iPhone 4 and 4S is marginal: a better camera, different processor, and the Siri app, but with a $100 price difference. Yet millions of people around the world eagerly bought this new product. 30% of people actually had to pay a fee to upgrade their phones to the 4S for an early termination fee. Many people go through extreme means to have the latest gadgets, but none so much as a certain Chinese teen who desperately desired an iPad.
A teenager in China is now the proud owner of an iPad 2, but it came at a steep cost. He allegedly sold one of his kidneys to purchase the device. The boy is not being identified. His mother reportedly became suspicious after the 17-year-old turned up at home with a new iPad and a large scar on his right side. That's when the teen confessed to the exchange.
The Chinese boy got $3,400, and with it he bought an iPad and a laptop. As of today, this Chinese teen has succumbed to infection and health problems because of his missing organ. He has now complications arriving from this operation.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Are these products really worth it though? Although Apple has certainly revolutionized certain aspects of the electronics industry, they often aren't necessarily worth the price. So, when you buy the next iPhone or iPad, think about whether or not you really need it. Does the old one get the job done? Or is its performance lacking? What are you really paying for? A good, functional computer? Or the Apple logo on the back of it?